Good morning, everybody. It is not Granny Square Day, which was yesterday, but I'm a day late, I know, but life took over a little bit yesterday. But I did actually manage to get a Granny Square done that I did post on the Instagram site, which I'm sure people are still uploading their designs now, which it was Granny Square Day 2021, although for some reason I put in 2121 first time round. I don't know, I'm jumping centuries. I don't know what went wrong there. But this is the little one I popped on there. And if you want some inspiration, or if you've not popped yours on yet, I'm sure there's plenty of time to do so. But have a look on there. Oh, the imagination is absolutely wonderful. So it's worth just to scroll through all the images and be quite amazed by them. We're going to be doing this one today. It's relatively simple, but I thought it worked quite well. It can be done in any colours, of course. I picked these colours here. So we're going to do that in a second, but I wanted to show you something else first. So I'll pop that to one side. Now, this is, as you can see, Simply Crochet Magazine. I was lucky enough to get mine sent to me this month because I have one of my granny squares in here. I do various sort of submissions to them every now and again, so I am sort of on their list of people who put forward patterns and have them in the magazine. So all I'm going to show you is this is the magazine, but this is what came with the magazine. So again, if you're wanting granny square ideas, there are 50 different designs in here. So it's definitely worth picking up just for this. There is a freebie on the front, but I don't know, it was delayed, the magazine, but then I got mine through the post, so I'm presuming it is actually in the shops now. So you might have to look out for it or check out on their Facebook page to see if there's any updates on that. But I know there'd been a couple of publishing issues, so it had come out a little bit late, which was a shame, as I say, because it was Granny Square Day yesterday. But I would think most of the subscribers probably have theirs if I've got mine. I don't know, I'm not sure on that, so you have to keep an eye on the updates. The only one I'm going to show you is, there's a picture of all those different squares, and there's mine. I'm number 39, my little blue one there. So as you can see, there's loads there. So if you want a bit of inspiration, it's a great magazine to get anyway at the best of times. It's not just sort of the magazine contents, but there's information in the back, sort of how-tos and things like that. So even if you're a beginner, there is other information in the magazine, and also it's a great read because there's other articles and things like that. So that was just that little bit. I just wanted to show you my little square that I'd got in this year for my granny square motif, and we'll pop that to one side and we're going to get on with our granny square now. Granny squares come in all shapes and sizes. Yes, there is the traditional square, which I love so much. If you watch the doll videos I just did a doll top in a granny square. So there's loads of different things you can do with the granny square. But I wanted to just make something a little bit different for Granny Square Day. So here it is, but it is still very, very easy. I have the three colours here. To be honest, there's not a huge difference between them two. I don't really know why I did it in three colours, but we'll go with what I got on there. So this is Starcraft yarn, and it's just a double knit yarn. I'm going to be using a larger hook than I normally do. I have a 4mm crochet hook because for double knit yarn I usually work in a 3.5 because I like my work quite tight, but a 4mm hook, even up to a 4.5, is a great hook for double knit. It depends what you're used to, and also it depends on your tension. If your tension is a little looser or a little tighter, you may have already adjusted your hook size. So here we go. We're going to make our slip knot first. In we go. Onto the hook, not too tight, you need a bit of movement there. And for like all granny squares, we need to create a little ring, but we're going to do it in a 5-chain situation. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This hook feels massive. And into the first one, we're going to do a slip stitch. If we can, make sure we pick the right bit up, pull it through and pull it through. Now the hole is there, be careful because this bit that we've not yet tightened up, can you see sometimes you have a tendency to go in there, so just tighten that up. It's just where your slip knot was, that's all. And here is our hole. We're going to do 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. Our 3 chain is the equivalent to our first treble. This is all done in trebles and chains. I've got a few double crochets around the edge. They are UK terms though, so that is something I sort of wanted to point out. I'm just wondering whether I should take the camera a little bit closer. Let's have a go. Let's see what happens. Boop. Wow. Have we balanced out? Yes, we have. You have to be careful because it does blur. So I've gone a little bit closer there so you can see it a bit better. So we have that 3 chain, as I say, does count as our first treble. So I'm now going to do 2 more trebles. So yarn round, into the hole, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. That's our treble. Another one. Yarn round, into the hole, pull it through 2, and pull it through 2. So we have 3 trebles there. Now that's my first part of the 4 that you need. So we now need 3 chain. 1, 2, and 3. That 3 chain is the corner on our next round. We're now going to do 3 more trebles. So yarn round, into the hole, pull it through 2, pull it through 2. 2 more like that. They're in little groups of 3s. And again. So we now have 1 set, 3 chain, 2 sets. So we need another 3 chain. 1, 2, and 3. And you've guessed it, 3 more trebles into that circle in the middle. Now obviously if you're used to granny squares, you've probably already just done what I'm mentioning. But if there is a beginner out there, you know, you need to take a little bit more time. So we now have 3 sets, but we need 3 chain. 1, 2, and 3. Now the next one is another set. So this is our 4th and final set of 3 trebles. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So you can see we've almost got a square because there's a corner, corner, and a corner. Now the next one is where some people will argue I do it differently or I don't do it right, but it doesn't matter. Whichever way you do this first part, it can be the same because we're going to fasten the yarn up anyway. Normally, if I was going to continue with this colour, I would do a half treble into the top of this, but because I am actually going to change colour, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to do 3 chain. 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top, if I can get it in, there we go, into the top of the first 3 chain we had. And because I'm changing colour, I'm fastening off. So there are different ways. So yes, I know I don't normally do it this way, but because I'm changing colour, I think it works easier. Pull it through, fasten it off, and just tighten up that middle bit. Oh, or drop it maybe. And there we are. So we have our first little part of the square, which is here. We're now going to be working on this bit, and these are popcorns, but they are treble popcorns. So as long as you know how to do a treble, you'll be able to do a popcorn. So here we are. We're going to change to this sort of darker, sort of rusty colour here now. Yarn in place. We can choose any corner we want to start with. So I'm going to go just in here, and I'm going to pull it through. And because I want to make sure it's fixed, I'm going to do a chain and back through. It just fixes it a little bit. Okay, just tighten that up and then you don't get that lump. We're now going to do 3 for our treble. Okay, we're now going to do 3 more trebles. So now I have the equivalent to 4, because obviously that counts as 1 as well. So I've took my hook out because it is a popcorn stitch. Oh dear, you know, I've made myself a drink and I've left it on the side and I forgot to bring it in with me, but never mind, we'll be okay. So we have the equivalent to 4 here. So we've took it out of there, leave that little loop there, and I'm going to pop my hook in the top and squeeze it in there of the chain. It's a bit harder to get in the chain than it is later. And we're going to pick up that loop. I'm just going to tighten my yarn up a little bit, and we're going to pull the loop through the top of that chain. So you can see it just bunches it up. So that makes us our little popcorn. I'm going to do 3 chain. 1, 2, and 3, because this is the corner, remember. So in the same space as this one, I want to do another 4 treble popcorn. So yarn round. We make 4 trebles first. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Leave it a little bit long so you don't lose it. I'm going to take my hook out. I'm just undoing some of this yarn because otherwise it is going to pull. So I've taken it out. I'm going to go all the way back to the first of that 4 in the top, grab the yarn, tighten it up a bit before we pull it through, and pull it through. So that gives us another popcorn. So we have a 4 treble popcorn, 3 chain, a 4 treble popcorn. Just double checking what I actually did on the next bit. Da-da. Oh, I know what I did. We need 2 chain, 1 and 2. Okay, we're going to jump straight to this next corner and we're going to do the same again. It's going to be a 4 treble popcorn, 3 chain, 4 treble popcorn. So here we go with our 4 trebles first. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Take it out, put it in the top of the first one, grab that hook, that loop, and pull it through. That's our first one. So we now need to do 3 chain. This ball's going to end up on the floor, I know it is, because I've wound it up because it came undone. It's sort of like spinning around a bit. All right, so 3 chain goes between these popcorns. 1, 2 and 3, and back in the same space, 4 treble popcorn. If I'm going a little bit fast, don't forget you can actually slow me down in the settings. Obviously, if you're sort of a little bit more experienced, you might already be round, so please be patient while I catch up, or just pause me and wait until I get on to the next bit, because I'll be changing colour next, so you'll be able to see it easy enough. So we have our 4 in the top of the first, grab the loop, pull the loop through, and we do 2 chain. Okay, so we're now going into our next corner, same again. So 4 popcorns, 1, or 4 popcorns, 4 trebles, 2, 3 and 4 into the first one, grab the loop and pull it through, and 3 chain. 1, 2 and 3. We do 3 chain on the ones between the 2 popcorns because they are the corners and we need to extend them a little bit. We don't need them too flat. So in we go in the same space with our 4 trebles to make another popcorn. That's 2, 3 and 4. Out it comes, into there, grab the loop and pull it through, 2 chain. So you can see we now have 1, 2 and 3 sets. We need 1 more set over here. If you're more organised than me, it's actually a good idea to sew these ends in before you carry on, because they get in the way, which is very annoying. But I have not been organised, so off we go. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Hook out in the first one, grab our loop and pull it through. 3 chain. 1, 2 and 3 because it's the corner. Into the same space, our 4 trebles. That was 3. 1 more. 4. Take it out, pop it in the first one, grab our loop and pull it through, 2 chain. Now we're back round now. So to actually slip stitch join, it's a little bit weird because it's pulled itself round, hasn't it? So you're like, well, I can't get to the top of my first 3 chain because it's joined itself together. But that is where you need to do your slip stitch, in this bit where it has joined together. So about there, yeah, pull it through and pull it through. Okay, and so if you get rid of these ends, you can see that it looks a bit neater. It's just that the ends are sticking through at the moment. So again, changing yarn and pop it to one side. Now we're going for more of this, well, I said the other one was mustard. This is almost a mustard, but it's a little bit browner perhaps. I'm not quite sure what you would call it. So let me fasten that off before I do actually go any further. Otherwise I will lose it, won't I? So there we go, pull it through. Now, the other thing I do find when you're doing squares, because you can see how it's curling round because of the type of square it is, every now and again, just give it a little stretch. Sort of imagine where your corners are, give that a little stretch, little stretch, little stretch. And it does just help sort of position your work. Just give it a little stretch out there. I know some people do block their work afterwards, which is a perfect way of giving it that stretch, but you can actually just stretch it manually or pop it in a book or flatten it down sort of inside something when you've made it, and it will hold. But if you're wanting it to be a really strict square, you do need to actually sort of block it out. I actually don't block, but everybody sort of has a different method, don't they? So let's get this other yarn around my hand in position, and again I'm going to be picking up at the side this time. I'm just double checking what I've put. Bear with me. No, I'm not starting on a side. I'm going to be starting on a corner. It doesn't really matter where you start, but let's start on a corner. It makes a little bit more sense. So this is our 3 chain space between the 2 popcorns is our corner. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it through. Remember what I did last time? I did a chain and then a double crochet, just anchors it. Again, optional that is. I just find it holds it in place a little bit better. We're going to do 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And back into that same space, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. I'm going to do 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And back in the same space with 1 double crochet. So can you see we've got like two little bunny ears there. So that is our corners, and all our corners will be that. We are now going to jump to a side. So from there, the side is the ones between. So we're going to do 1 double crochet. We're going to do 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 1 double crochet. So we've just got a smaller one in there, so it's not a double one on the sides, it's only a double one in the corners. So we jump into the next corner, double crochet, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 2 double crochets because it's a corner, into the same space, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 1 double crochet back in to give us our bunny ears on that corner. Well, I will if I can get it through. My yarn's split then. Do be careful when your yarn splits. Best thing to do is just take it out and do it again. And there we go. I'm twisting that one there. So again, that's a corner. So we've got our bunny ears. So we have bunny ears, no bunny ears, bunny ears. Next one is a side. So we're just doing 1 double crochet, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, back into the same space, double crochet. So that was just a single little set. Next one is our corner, so double crochet, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and back in with a double crochet. So they're bunny ears again. The next one's just a side, so it's just 1 double crochet, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 1 double crochet back in. We have one more corner to go, as you can see. So our next one is, as you've guessed, 1 double crochet, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 1 double crochet back in. So that's our last set of bunny ears there. Next one's just a side, the last one here. So it's double crochet, 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and a double crochet. Now we do need to do a slip stitch here. Now remember I did a double crochet here. That is the one I'm going to actually slip into. It's only a slip stitch. Because we're changing again. You don't have to change colours at all. It's totally sort of optional. So we're going back to this rusty colour. So let me just fasten that off a second. Again, if you're organised, I'd get rid of those ends. Obviously, you don't want to watch me sew ends in, that's why I'm not doing them, but I would get rid of them. So I'm going to give this a little stretch. Where my corners are, make sure I know everything's in the right place and that I've done the right amount. So at the moment, it's sort of quite a cute little tiny lacy granny square completely on its own, isn't it? Now, if you have a look at this one, so this is the little lacy bit that we've just done. So you can see the next bit, it's just traditional granny squares again. But we've got to go into these loops, so it feels a little bit weird when we're doing it. So I'm going to start on the side one, because I think it makes it a little bit easier to do. So I'm going to actually undo some of this, because it's just going to get tangled. I know it is, or it's going to end up on the floor. So I'm just undoing a little bit of yarn here. There we go. So I'll pop it to one side. So I've got some yarn now. Hopefully I won't tangle that bit up now. So round the hand, ready to do the work. So into a side one, pull it through, chain, and double crochet hold. Or not double crochet hold, now double crochet hold. Oh dear. Let me try and make sure I keep into the centre here. For some reason, when I've been videoing, I've put it back on and there's like black bars at top and bottom, and it's been losing bits. So I have actually worked out how to alter it now, but it was a bit too late for the other videos I'd already uploaded. So I've got to be aware of that now before I upload the video, because I don't want those black bars there, because it covers just this very bottom bit and then you definitely can't see what I'm doing. So we want 3 chain. Let me shuffle that over a bit. Remember that 3 chain counts as our first treble. Now I'm going to do 2 trebles. 1 and 2. Okay, so that's the side. The next one is a corner. So I'm going to do 3 trebles in this one, 3 chain and 3 trebles in that one. Looks a bit weird, I know, but here we go. So 3 trebles, 1, 2 and 3. 3 chain, because we need to make it a corner. 1, 2 and 3, and then 3 trebles in the next bunny ear. 1, 2 and 3. So that now makes a corner. It's quite a wide corner compared with normal, but it is if you have a look on there. So it makes quite a large space. The next one, which isn't the bunny ear one, is a side. So if it's just a side, it is just 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, next one is a corner, so we're going to jump to that corner. 3 trebles in the first bunny ear. 1, my yarn is getting tangled now. 2 and 3. 3 chain. 1, 2 and 3. Into the next bunny ear. 3 trebles, because it's a corner. 1, 2 and 3. The next one is a side, so it's just 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3. Next one, move that bit out of the way, is a corner, because it's the 2 bunny ears, so it's a 3 treble, 3 chain, 3 treble. 1, 2, 3, 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. 3 trebles into the next one. 1, 2 and 3. So that's a corner done again. The next one is a side. The wool actually knocked the stand then, it's because it's rolling about so much. Just 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3. And we have our last corner here, so remember it's 3 trebles, 3 chain, 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3. Under the yarn again, 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. Last one, 3 trebles. 1, 2 and 3, slip stitch into the top of the first 3 chain we did, and I'm going to fasten off because I'm changing yarn again. Pull it through, and there we have our next one. Now I don't know whether you've noticed, but you know, like then I'm pulling it, I can almost feel it pop. It's like a little bit of a popping sensation as the yarn sort of positions itself. If I do that, I can feel the pop. So now you can see we definitely have the 4 corners. So if I pop my fingers into those, you can see what shape we've got. Now my last 2 rounds I just did, I'm just having a look, did I do 2 or did I do 1? I thought I did 2. Oh, I did do 2. I didn't change colour though last time, but I'm going to change colour this time. So you didn't have to have changed colour because the last 2 rounds are just double crochet rounds. But I'm going to change it. What should we change it to? We'll go back to this colour that was in the middle there. So it's this strange sort of mustardy colour. I really couldn't make up my mind what colours to use. I've gone a little bit autumn and we're in the middle of the summer, but never mind. So at any point, I would go for the top of one of these, but it's up to you. You're going to pick up your yarn. I'll go there, I think. We're going to pull it through. We do that chain. I'm going to do a double crochet into that. Now, if you want, you can line up this and crochet it in at the same time, entirely up to you, or you can just sew your ends in afterwards. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet into every top of these trebles until we get to the corner, which I'm sure you're going to know we need more in the corner because otherwise it'll pull it round. So the next section is a corner. It was 3 chain, so we're going to need to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. Can you see I'm still catching this up to sort of hide it in? The next one is a treble, top of the treble. So we have 1, 2 and 3. Give it a little stretch. When you are crocheting in the yarn as well though, because well, I'll take that out for a minute and show you. You do have to be careful because say this is the bit I've crocheted in. If I pulled it tight, this can happen. So you do need to keep making sure it's sitting flat. In fact, because I've crocheted it in that far now, I think I'm just going to cut it off because it's in my way. There we go. Make sure you cut the right bit. The amount of times I've cut that one and then I went, oh, I've got to start again, is very annoying. But like I said, make sure you do cut the right piece. So we're going to carry on just doing 1 double crochet in the top of each of our trebles, unless it's a corner where we're going to do 3. I think using a slightly larger hook is sometimes easier as well to see where you're going. So we're in a corner, so I need 3 chain. 1, 2 and 3. Back to the top of our trebles. Trying to think while I'm doing this what my last colour, I might just stay with this colour. It'd be quite nice actually, because then you've got sort of, then that would match up with that, wouldn't it? So I might stay with the same yarn. If you want to change your colour, by all means do so. Let's get round first perhaps. Where's the corner? So we need 3. 1, 2. I think my yarn had caught a bit there, hadn't it? 3. Move that bit out of the way. Top of our trebles. This is our last side. It's always awkward where you've had sort of a knot or a finishing point. So you do sort of sometimes have to fight to get in the stitch a little bit there. You can see it's sort of like a habit. I'm not actually saying what I'm doing, but I'll do a stitch and I'll sort of do that. It's just sort of a habit of me stretching the work as I go. You don't have to do that, you can do it after. But right, we're on a corner, so I have 1, 2 and 3, and I'll sort of like stretch it, and then we have our last ones there. I'm not going to fasten off though, I've got to remember not to. Right, and we are back round, so I'm going to slip stitch into there. I don't want this amigurumi style, do I? This is old school. So we can give it a little stretch so you can see what we've got there. I'll move it up a little bit. Apologies if I have moved it down. I am trying desperately to stay in place, but especially when the camera's closer, it's sometimes harder to see the whole thing. I'm going to do one more round of just double crochets, but I just wanted to point out before we do it, when you get to a corner here, you can't go in just one because it will curl our corner up. We need to go in, remember we did 3, so into the third one, well, not the third one, the middle one of those 3 there, you would do another 3 double crochets. So we'll do that and I'll show you what I mean, because otherwise your work will start to curl in. So because I've slip stitch joined there, I'm going to do a chain start and double crochet. So we're going to just double crochet into each double crochet. We're almost at that corner. So remember there's 1, 2, 3. This is our middle one. So into the middle one, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2. It feels like it's going to be a lot into one stitch, but it will make it sit flatter, so you do need to do it. And then back to just 1 double crochet in each double crochet until we get to the next corner. I'm hoping to get some Christmas crochet done this week. I've got 4 ideas, whether it be doll or crochet or doll crochet, that I'd like to do this week, but again it always depends on how time goes. Like I said, this weekend I've been a little bit sort of thrown out of everything. Right, so I've got to the corner, so remember we have 3 stitches in that corner. So the first one, well, the first one I've just done, which is there. The next one I'm going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, and then back round just 1 double crochet in each one. You know, I just sometimes wonder what I ought to do with these squares, because I do them and then I don't do anything else with them. I know there are charities like Simply Crochet did mention one that the Granny Square Day does support. Again, these are mentioned in, let me see if it's mentioned in the front here. I think it is actually. Yes, it is. You see this company here, Woolly Hugs. Now I do know that they do blankets. It says here this is the charity that they are going to be supporting, and they will be donating all these squares, which I knew about, that we've all made, to them, and then they're going to be doing blankets, etc. So they might be worth getting in touch with if you do have lots of spare granny squares. I know it's sometimes one of those things, you make loads and loads and you're going to make a blanket, you're definitely going to make a blanket, and you never do it, and you just end up with a bag of squares, and then after a while you think, oh, I don't really like that colour anymore, or oh, I don't really want to do that style. So yeah, don't throw them away. Perhaps gather them all up, contact one of these places and see if they would like a donation at all. Oh, I've got a tough bit there. That's where that stitch split on the last round. I should have took it out really. Right, we're to a corner again, so I'm going to do 3, 1, 2 and 3. See, we're nearly there. 1 double crochet again in each double crochet. I don't want to go in. It's not where this one joined, it's where the previous round joined. The knot's getting in the way. It's not really a knot, but it's where you do your slip stitch. Go away to the corner, nearly. Right, next one's a corner one, so I need 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then just 1 all the way till we get to that beginning stitch. Because I did the chain and then the double crochet directly below it, it's easy to see. You can see where you've joined, so I know I'm round and I can comfortably do a slip stitch into the top of that double crochet and fasten it off. Give it that little stretch, I mentioned, sometimes it does take a little bit of sort of stretching into place, or if you do have a blocking board or something like that, you can pop it on, sort of choosing each point of your corner. But there we are. We have quite quick and simple granny square. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do enjoy what I do, please sort of subscribe and like, and if you want to see future sort of projects that I'm doing, click on the notification bell. I know I've got quite a mixture of subscribers. Some are sort of dolly people, some are crochet and dolly people, so you know, some of the videos you might not want to see, but if you do want to find out what's coming up next, you just click on that little notification bell and you will find out when I've done my next project. So thank you once again for watching. Hope you get some granny squares done. I've got to decide what to do with those. I quite like the colour actually, so I might have to make a decision whether I'm going to make something or not. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye for now.